Hey there everybody, it's Vixie, and I'm back playing more Samus Goes to the Grocery Store. Last time we got down to the last Metroid that we need to fight in this area, and I hope it's this way, because it's the only place I haven't explored yet, so... Perhaps it is down here. Must be this way, because it's a one-way path of some kind. Haha, you have no power over me. Is there something here? Somehow no. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna teleport it here just in case. Thank God I don't have to use missiles to kill those things from a distance anymore. You can almost play this like a normal Metroid game at this point. But yeah, confirmed there is a Metroid around here somewhere because there's a husk back there. If it's this way, I don't know yet. They must have nerfed the screw attack for this game in particular, because it doesn't one-shot nearly as many things as it does in other games. Okay, yeah, the Metroid is this way. Because even in Fusion, it one-shots pretty much everything. Every little normal enemy. Nope. Yeah, I think I can conclude that that's... Good grief. Yeah, this is all emulator problems. Because I did notice post-update, it... Like the little... There's a little status thing on Citra. Oh, you're gonna run away. I can't. Oh, and I can cancel it out. Oh yeah, there's little status updates on the Citra thing. Ow. I'm not paying attention to what this thing's doing. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I did notice it went down from, like, perfect. Because... I have to explain... I have to restart my brain, sorry. On Citra, it marks, it states how perfectly, or at least how well it can emulate a game. And for a while, this game said emulation was perfect, and it did work perfectly. But I did notice, like, once Citra had an update, it went down from perfect to great, so, whoopsie. Kind of broke something for this game in particular. I'm not paying attention where I'm going. Let's go this way. Guys. Whoa. More places where the game has problems. Samus canceling out of her screw attack for some reason. Good thing we had screw attack, because we'd have to run back to get this. Don't need to save right now. But yeah, since that was the last Metroid, in this area at least, go back to the Grape juice machine. I probably could have used the teleporter to get here faster. Oh well. Actually, I think there is something in it, because there's a teleporter right here anyway. There is something I do really want to say about these teleporters. And, like, I probably could have used the teleporters a lot more often than I did. Because I haven't spoken about the teleporters a ton. I haven't used the teleporters a ton, that is. But yeah, anyway. One of the things I find really fascinating about the art of game design is, what does a game do to put you, the player, as into the shoes of the player character as possible on a mechanical level. And, like, certainly a lot of, like, you know, that big word, immersion, which has a tendency to get misused and overused, especially these days, to a point where the word kind of barely means anything anymore. But yeah, immersion. And, like, there's a near infinitesimal ways that a game can, what a game can do to get you immersed. Like, a lot of Nintendo fans, and, like, especially Pokemon fans, like capital F fans, seem to get into their head that to make a game more immersive, you just have to make it more like Breath of the Wild. Because, like, oh, it's more realistic and open world, and Breath of the Wild is immersive, therefore if you make other games more immersive, you just have to make it more like Breath of the Wild. Like, duh, it's just science. Like, no, there's a near infinite ways to make a game more immersive. What makes Breath of the Wild so immersive is the fact that it commits so hard to the whole open world thing. Like, you could just go anywhere provided you have the resources, and you can get the resources from pretty much anywhere in the game, to a point where you could just go explore Death Mountain for the first thing you do in the game if you really want to. You just have to find some fireproof potions, and that's it. But and also, like, it puts you into the shoes of Link, because he has to go around scrounging up the scraps of Hyrule to go build him up to prepare for the big fight with Ganon at the end to save Hyrule. This loops back to around in Metroid, I swear. What the original Metroid 2 did was... Can I zoom out on the bigger map somehow? Or am I stuck? Oh, I could use this. Yes, I need your services temporarily. But yeah, the way the original Metroid 2 is set up is this constant, near-endless descent. Or at least a descent that feels near-endless. Where you get deeper and deeper in this planet, the further and further into this mission you go. And the deeper you get, the more scarce, like, enemies get, the more scarce resources in general get. And if you were into the same position as Samus was, as the original Metroid 2, you would probably be thinking something along the lines of yourself is, oh god, I'm like miles deep at this point. Am I ever going to see the surface ever again? With these teleport points, that tension is completely gone, because I can literally teleport to the surface at any point I want. I can literally go to the surface right now, even though I'm like several miles deep in Area 5 at this point. And, like, if you really insist on having fast travel, like, sure, what I would have done is have fast travel just be, like, in local areas. Like, this teleport point here could only teleport to other teleport points within this given area. It couldn't teleport me back to the surface. And that's just, if you really insist on having fast travel, I don't think it should be necessary for this game. It's only really necessary because they went to the trouble of putting back items in previous areas that you can't get until you get better items. And yeah, I just feel like they should have leaned more hard into the linearity, because in the original Metroid 2, there wasn't a whole lot of reason to go back exploring older areas anyway. And that's generally because, like, they knew what the game they were designing was like. So ergo, they designed it to not have a ton of backtracking in it, outside of just, you can find a few more items if you really want to. But I think generally speaking, I don't know, I haven't run 100% of the original Metroid 2, but I think generally speaking, you don't need to backtrack to get 100%. I may be wrong on that, but yeah, it's just like, that is ultimately why I feel like this game is not as ideal of a remake. Because it's not just this, because in general it does a lot to, like, break what the original Metroid was trying to do as an experience. And to a point where it's kind of like, well, did you really want to remake Metroid 2? Because you saw a lot of what Metroid 2 is, as a matter of fact, and saw them as problems to be fixed and not obstacles to work the game design around. So, yeah. Anyway, the grape juice machine demands blood sacrifice. Or hemolymph, maybe. Would Metroids have hemolymph instead of blood? It's kind of weird because Metroids aren't quite arthropods, but they aren't exactly vertebrates either. You know. Goes back down this way. Never mind. Because, again, the bright environments is another thing that this game really does different from the original Metroid 2. Because, like I've stated before that the original Metroid 2 had, like, almost entirely nothing but black backgrounds. I'm sure Zero Mission, like, colored in a lot of those backgrounds, but it still had kept them mostly in darkness. To a point where it still added context to the world, and how it would look in a more 3D-esque space, so to speak. But dang it! Wait, you got the time stopped with this. And then the space jump has to do a space jump and not work. There we go. Don't ammo refill. Hand acrobatics. No. There. What do you want? Okay, that's why. Phase shifter doesn't stop these things either. Just in case you're wondering. How do I get down there then? Ow. Dang it. Oh, duh. Thank God for scan poles. Especially here, where we're getting like even deeper than what we already were. Especially at this part, because I'm pretty sure this is like the deepest in the into the planet we get. Another thing the original Metroid 2 did was have less enemies deep down into the deeper pits of SR388, as opposed to this game where it's pretty much kept the enemy count consistent throughout. In fact, there's more enemies down here than usual. And of course, you might think, well, if there's less enemies, then there's not much of a challenge, is there? Well, not necessarily, because then you don't have as many enemies to refill your resources on. You kind of have to go out of your way to find energy and ammo recharge stations. It also gives the energy that you're just so far deep into the planet that you're at a point where no life can sustain itself down here, other than the Metroids themselves. It's like, stop me if you heard this one in a critique of a Metroid game before. It makes you feel like you're all alone. And that's definitely what the original Metroid 2 felt like, was like the most lonesome Metroid game. Because it was so isolated to a point where it barely even had any enemies toward the end. Ow. Health. That's the drink. Don't want to go in there. Oh. Still need beam burst to take care of these. Oh. What's down there? Sometimes it's just nice to... Oh wait, it's a shortcut down here. Never mind. Didn't need to go this way at all. Anyway, strangely enough, it's only asking for one Metroid this time. I just did not press the button. Teleport point. Gaunced. Damn. At least Plasma Beam makes these things more manageable. Could stop since we're at 20 minutes, but since I took a second to rant, I'll keep going. Yeah, as much as I do bemoan that this game isn't a little bit, doesn't lean a little bit harder into having a darker atmosphere, it does have nice little background details like this. It's like, oh yeah, there's just a freaking semi-truck sized snail in the background. It's fine. It's just another one of those things you don't fight, it's just sort of in the background. Hey, that was mine! Asshole. I think there's another missed opportunity here, because, like, spoilers, the item the Digger Knot just took away from us was the power bomb. Like, that was supposed to be the power bomb, so, of course, the Metroidvania trope to do is, oh, well, when you get to the power, when you get into a room that gives you an item, and usually the way to progress, or at least get out of that room, is to use that item again. So it would stand to logic that the way to progress would be use the power bomb. So, like, it could have been interesting to pull off a situation where you needed the power bomb to escape this room, but since that thing just took the power bomb away, you can't get out of here. So Samus kind of has to find another way to get around it. But now it just kind of lets you progress as if nothing was wrong. It's just a little bit lame. I saw that open space in the wall on the map. It is something to keep an eye out for when exploring areas. Yeah. Oh yeah, well, I guess that said that you do need power bomb to get through this area. That's not a required area though, so not that it matters to us right now anyway. Because that's just to get an item. And we already have our Metroid. Again, it's like they tease the idea, because that's a power bomb door, but it's not required for progress. Like, you just go down here. switch. Yep, it's a Zeta. Oh. Gotcha. I know I can still fire at it while it's rearing up to attack, but I just like to remove the sound of the missiles going off so I can focus on actually countering the thing. My brain is small and full of useless information, like what's the population of geese in Florida right now? At least 12. Thanks, brain. I really appreciate it. Even when I give myself space to counter it, I don't do it. Down here. And again, it needs one more missile. Oh, that's already Area 6 cleared up, so... just need to make our way back. That said, if there is a save point on the way, I'll stop there instead, because... the episode's running on for a bit. Ow. Don't do that. Free energy tank, woo. Two items in one area. You don't get that kind of deal at your local Kroger. I just need to find a way to get out of here. Oh wait, no, it's through here, Divas. Duh. That's why they bothered to put that vent there. Another cool atmospheric thing they did is you're probably eager to go back and insert the DNA into the grape juice machine right now, but then you notice, huh? There's a second husk here. That's kind of weird. Oh. Never mind, you're not supposed to go this way anyway. I guess you're supposed to just turn back. But I'm doing things slightly out of order just to be a rebel. Rebelling against Nintendo. How brave of me. So there's a shortcut down this way. I'm just running into everything. Okay, here's a save point. So, next time we'll complete Area 6. Yep, that's it. We've already completed it. Definitely. Totally. Definitely.